These are new recruits, members of the armed wing of an Iranian Kurdish party that's been demanding greater rights for Kurds in Iran for more than 70 years. The Democratic Party of Iranian Kurdistan, or PDKI, is banned in Iran. But the Kurdish regional government of northern Iraq has helped fund the party and allowed its members to train here since the 1990s. Its fighters have served alongside the Iraqi Peshmerga, helping the Iraqi army and the international coalition in the battle against ISIL. Its ultimate aim is the same as the Iraqi Kurds, a future independent state. The PDKI claims it has thousands of fighters based in the mountains that border Iran. As well as military training, the recruits are taught what the party says are non-sectarian politics and state building, and it fully supports the referendum that was held in the Kurdish region of northern Iraq on future secession.
I, as a Kurdish woman who lived as a member of Iranian society, feel the oppression of the Iranian regime against us as Kurds in Iran. As a woman and as a Kurd, I have been oppressed twice by the Iranian regime. That's why I've joined this party. I believe that through this party I will reach my goals.
There are at least 5 million Kurds in Iran, and many of them came out on the streets in towns and cities across the border, celebrating the referendum that was held here in northern Iraq. A referendum that the Iraqi government and neighbouring countries, including Iran, say was illegal and risks further destabilising this region. These pictures uploaded on YouTube are said to show some of those celebrations. The PDKI says, according to social media reports, Iranian police arrested around 300 people who came out and supported the Kurdish referendum in Iraq.
Kurds will not destabilize security in the region. It's the region's government's oppression against the Kurds that has created the instability. When there is an independent Kurdish region in Iraq, it will be a motive for other Kurdish nations in other parts in the region, like the Kurds in Iran, Turkey and Syria.
More than 92% of those who voted in the Iraqi Kurdish referendum said yes to future secession from Iraq, despite the threats from the governments in Baghdad, Ankara and Tehran. These Iranian Kurds share the same dream. Charles Stratford, Al Jazeera, Khoy-Sinjak, northern Iraq. This is the last Kurdish Peshmerga checkpoint on the Erbil-Mosul road. The Kurdish authorities closed it and another route into Nineveh province for a few hours overnight, saying they had received messages from the Iraqi military that it was planning attacks in Kurdish-controlled areas. Pressure is mounting from Baghdad on the Kurdish Regional Government, or KRG, following the recent referendum on secession from Iraq. Many people say they feel punished and afraid.
The Iraqi government is trying to fight the KRG economically, wanting to close its land borders. They have already closed the international airspace. They have cut the federal budget to the KRG. It's all coming from Abadi government. This is not right. Civilians should not be punished like this.
The federal government in Baghdad denied any responsibility for these messages that the KRG said that it received last night from the Iraqi military and Shia militia groups, saying that they were planning attacks around the oil-rich city of Kirkuk and north of Mosul. But the closure of this road last night as a result of those messages shows just how nervous the Kurdish regional government is getting. A federal court has issued arrest warrants for members of the Kurdish Regional Government Electoral Commission. Baghdad says it wants federal control over KRG banks and telephone networks. Both Turkey and Iran have held joint military operations with the Iraqi army close to the KRG international borders, and a spokesperson for the Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan says Turkey will eventually take control of its KRG border in coordination with Baghdad and Tehran. The Kurdish regional government says Baghdad's action amounts to collective punishment.
This is a clear proof that Baghdad is not ready for democracy or for dialogue. We, from our side, we reject violence. We reject confrontation. We are not for escalation. And we do not want to provoke Baghdad. But likewise, we expect Baghdad to respect the will of the people of Kurdistan.
Iraqi Prime Minister Haider al-Abadi says military confrontation is not the solution. But he says there will be no dialogue with the KRG until the referendum results are made null and void. More than 92% of those who voted said yes to eventual Kurdish secession. The KRG says the Kurdish people of Iraq have spoken. Charles Stratford, Al Jazeera, Northern Iraq.